What's going on YouTube? Eric here from MajorLeagueTrading.com coming at you with another trade review breakdown video here. It's currently Wednesday, August the 7th, 2:23 p.m. here. And I wanted to go ahead and record a quick video and give you guys my thoughts and opinions on what is to come here for the rest of this week. So in yesterday's video, we were talking about the markets continuing to get some sell-off here. The levels we had marked up for the S&Ps here were 28, 78, 75s, 28, 53s, and then 28, 37 quarters here to the downside. And the levels there were, if we could crack under 28, 53s, then we've got a shot at going to 28, 37s. If we can crack 28, 37s, we got a shot at going much, much lower from there. Now, the real question is, okay, we cracked those 28, 37 quarters. That's what you just told me, and we should go lower, but we didn't actually go that much lower from there. We ended up reversing and trading all the way up into 28, 78, 75s on the day. So what went wrong there, or what went right, and how were we able to capitalize on that for today? Well, number one is we had something that kind of took us by a little bit of surprise this morning that hopefully some of you guys caught on to, but I don't think a lot of people did. And I'm going to switch over to a daily chart here and show this to you guys. And what I was watching here this morning that kind of led me to, I ended up taking a long today here. I'll actually bring this over before we go through and show you guys. I took a long here in the S&Ps, good for $1,714.80 there. I took a $1.80 loss in the Nasdaq there. I took a $31.40 gain out of the Russell and a $112.60 gain out of the Dow, and then nothing here in the micros for the Nasdaq. So the biggest trade came out of the S&Ps here. Excuse me. And I also had a smaller trade trading some options in Apple that was good for about 400 bucks, which I'll bring over and walk through that trade as well with you guys. We got a lot to cover in this video. So let's get started. What I was watching for here this morning, we came down, we had the lows from Monday, and we got absolutely smoked in the overnight session. And if I turn the extended session on here, you can see, there we go. We got this big bottoming tail in here coming in for Tuesday, and that was in the Monday night, essentially overnight session there. We just got absolutely rocked. S&P's traded all the way down to 27, 75, 75s there, and then rebounded about 100 and some points from that. Now, if we're looking at this, turning the extended session off here, or if you're looking at the SPY, QQQ, IWM, or DIA, what we're going to notice here is this low was 2820.50 here for the S&Ps. This low here for today was 2823 quarters. So we did not, in fact, crack through this low yet in the S&Ps. We switch over to the Nasdaq here. Nasdaq here, same thing. You can see lows down here, 73, 60, 75s there. And today's lows end up being 73, 87, 75. So we didn't crack it in there. Take a look over at the Russell real quick. And Russell again here, lows coming in 1470.40 and lows for today, 1474.80. So we're holding across the board in the three indices that we've looked at so far. But what happens when we switch it over to Dow, you'll notice, as soon as this chart actually loads, you'll notice the Dow ends up breaking through Monday's regular trading hours session there today, actually trades down into the rising 200 SMA here on a daily chart. So when I saw that, I'm like, okay, there's something a little bit off about this. I'm not quite sure about the rally back because at that point, the S&Ps here were under 2837s, of course, and we were looking to rally back into that level of 2837 quarters and potentially look at shorts on the day. And something kind of stood out to me with the Dow there. And then another thing that actually ended up standing out here that led to my decision to go long, which we'll talk through that in just a second here, is going to come from another divergence trade. So we talked about the divergence trade yesterday as well. But another one ended up setting up today here in the Russell at 955. So at 955, where you guys can see my cursor is, we had the Russell making new lows with a signal. You can actually see this green arrow down here, right there at the 955 bar. S&P's not making new lows, Nasdaq not making new lows, and the Dow, which is the weaker market, and even still weaker right now, percentage change on the day, was not making new lows at that moment in time, and we had a signal in the Russell. So okay, we've got a daily divergence with the Dow from the daily chart. We've got the standard MLT divergence here on the Russell on a 5-minute chart where price is breaking down. None of the other markets are. And we've got the S&P's kind of rallying back up into this 37-quarter resistance level. And what we ended up setting up here is we rallied back up into this level. We tested it. We sold off some. And then right inside of this tail, so we're going to look at this tail here from a 5-minute chart. Inside of that tail, we end up actually setting a failure to go lower pattern where this low right here ends up being 28.32s. This very next low right here ends up being 28.3175. So we broke that low by 1 tick and then immediately just took off from there, rallied back up into 37 quarters. And then where I took my trade at for today ended up coming in right in through here, and I'll show you guys this. What I ended up doing was we rallied back up into this 37 quarters. At this point, I'm looking for long opportunities. I'm not liking the idea of the short. We've got the Nasdaq coming off of a 73.98 support level, which I can show you guys that here as well. 73.98 was a support level on the day for the Nasdaq. You can see that traded here pretty cleanly. 74.5750 was a level as well, and then 75.3950 is up here. So Nasdaq has gone pretty much straight level to level on the day. Right off 57.50s, down to 98s, up through 57.50s, retest once, twice, and then got the 75.3950s on the day. So just really clean technical price action here out of the Nasdaq. So I saw, the combination of these few things coming together here, and I'm like, okay, I need to start looking at some long opportunities. And that's exactly what I did. If this chart wants to load, there we go. Whoa, you guys saw that? That was crazy. Right in through here. So we have this, and let me actually blow this up. That'll make it a lot easier. We have this level right in through here, 37 quarters. This is that little failure to go lower pattern we were just looking at where we traded 31.75s. We rallied up, tested 37 quarters, popped up higher. When we popped up higher right here, we actually ended up kind of taking out this prior high here of 39.75s, which was crucial. And then once we pulled back, we tested 37 quarters again. We pushed through by 1 little tick there. I'm on a 987 tick chart with this current chart you guys are looking at. As soon as that happened, I went ahead and stepped into the long side. We broke out of this kind of little buy setup right here, breaking the prior highs back here, pulled back, tested, broke out there. I ended up getting filled at 39 quarters here on the S&Ps with a 3-lot. And that's what led to the $1,700 in profits that you guys saw there. So anyways, I stepped into that trade. We rallied up. We pulled back. As we rallied up here into opening print, again, if you guys don't already know, opening print is a super important level on the day. That level was at 28.47s. I stepped 1 tick in front of that, and I sold off 1 contract at 28.4675. So I scaled out of part of the position right there. I still had a 2-lot left on, and then was able to manage that 2-lot. We traded up here and got to 52 quarters, pulled back, and then as we came up here into 28.53s, I went ahead and closed out 1 more contract at 28.5275s. And my game plan was I was going to leave 1 on as a runner. But I started seeing some of this price action through here. And at that moment in time, we weren't getting new highs for the day yet in the Russell. So when we had kind of popped up here, I'll pull the Russell back over so you guys can see. When we popped up here and got those new highs here for the S&Ps, over 28.53s on this bar, you can notice that the Russell down here was not getting new highs. The Russell still had a little bit more room to go to kind of pop up there, get new highs on the day. And since that was not able to get the new highs, I went ahead and closed the position out right back here as we came back under 28.53s. So pretty much took the position from right here about 10.05, 10.06, somewhere through here, and was completely flat the position by 10.18. So all in all, about a 12 to 15 minute trade or so, and good for $1,714.80 on the day. Now, the other thing that I had on today with, in combination here with this S&P position, was a position in Apple. So at the same time that kind of I saw all of these things taking place, I liked the idea of the NASDAQ coming off that 73.98 support level, but I didn't have an entry into the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ didn't provide me with the entry that I was looking to see there. So I stepped over into Apple and was like, okay, I'll step into a options position over there because I already have the S&P futures position on, and I don't want to put on an additional NASDAQ futures position. I would rather take that with options. So I did take that with options. And what I did here is I traded the 195 calls that expire in 2 days. I was just looking for a day trade out of those. I ended up picking these up right in through here for $2.39 on this 10.05 bar. So at about the same time that I took the position in the S&Ps, I also took this position here in Apple. Picked those up for $2.39. I had a 10 lot on. We rallied up. I sold 5 of those for $2.69, and I sold 5 of them for $2.89 here for an average exit there on that of $2.79. Good for $400 on the day in Apple here. So all in all, that was a pretty decent trade as well here. And obviously it's pulled back, rallied a little bit more. This is just the quote of the options price itself for Apple. If we switch over, you can type in Apple up here, and it'll switch over and give you the actual prices here for Apple on the day as well. So ended up taking Apple for just this quick little move right here. Apple was able to get the new highs right there, and that was part of my exit right up and through here is when Apple was getting close to those new highs. So all in all, ended up working out really, really nicely there. And grand total here on the day for futures is $1,857 plus the $400 there for Apple. And it wasn't just me that was able to make some money today in the trade room and everything else. Blake actually had his best day so far, trading 3 lots. He was able to pick up 122 ticks out of the S&Ps. So good work out of Blake. Jose was able to pull out a little over $1,000 in the S&Ps. Mike had a killer day. He was up $3,200 in the Dow, down $862 on the S&Ps. So net on the day, probably like $2,600 there. All in all, really, really good day out of everybody in the MLT Discord there. Cowboy Trader came in with $648. Gavino came in with $2,800 on the day. Kalen came in with like $1,500 right off the rip here at like 9:40 or 9:35, something like that in the morning. I gotta find his actual message here. Give me a second. It's way back here. Anyways, if you guys want to see all that in the MLT Discord, there is a link in the description below. I did find, there it is, 9:32. He ended up taking one of the trade ideas off of the morning trade plan, which if you guys are not already a subscriber here on YouTube, I do those morning trade plans each and every day for free. So click that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on the little bell notification so you know when I go live each and every morning, because Kalen was able to pull out 930, by 9:32 a.m., he was able to pull out $1,504.10 from the NASDAQ futures off of a trade idea given in the morning trade plan. So congrats to all of the MLT members and their profits on the day. Hopefully you guys all had a great trading day as well. As always, give me a thumbs up on this video. Make sure you're subscribed. Leave me some comments below if you have any feedback, questions, whatever it is. Go ahead and do that. And again, if you want to join me in the MLT Discord, watch me trade live each and every morning. You can see me manage these positions and everything in real time, answer your questions. Then there is a link in the description below. go ahead and click on that. I'd be happy to work with you guys on a little bit of a closer basis there. So take care, hope it helps, and I'll see you guys on the next video.